I can see how certain feelings and ideas developed in me to the point where I began to act out on them. Certain very violent and very destructive feelings.
Welcome back to Crime Rage Teller. Ted Bundy, one of history's most infamous serial killers, left behind a disturbing legacy. In his final interviews, Bundy revealed a chilling detail about his past. He spoke of his early exposure to hardcore pornography, describing it as having a crystallizing effect on his violent tendencies.
Drugstore, the softcore pornography, what people call softcore. As young boys do, we explored the back roads and sideways and byways of our neighborhood, and oftentimes people would dump the garbage and whatever they were cleaning out of their house, and from time to time we'd come across pornographic books of a harder nature than more graphic, you might say, more explicit nature than we would encounter, let's say, in your local grocery store. And this also included such things as, let's say, detective magazines and more
those that involve violence.
Yes, and this is something I think that I want to emphasize.
Bundy claimed that this explicit material was not just an influence, but the very fuel for his dark fantasies. According to him, the pornography he consumed helped shape and intensify his violent urges.
Most damaging kinds of pornography, again, I'm talking from personal experience, hard, real personal experience. The most damaging kinds of pornography are those that involve violence and sexual violence. Because the wedding of those two forces, as I know only too well, brings about behavior that is just too terrible to describe.
Leading him to act out the very horrors he had long been exposed to. This revelation adds a troubling layer to our understanding of Bundy's actions and underscores the potential dangers of hardcore pornography. It's unsettling to revisit the story of Ted Bundy. Yet, his life offers crucial lessons that must not be ignored. In fact, a 1985 FBI study of 36 other serial killers revealed that a staggering 81% reported that their biggest sexual interest was in pornography. The 1986 Attorney General's Commission on Pornography further confirmed these findings, shedding light on the potential links between such material and extreme violent behavior. As unsettling as it is, understanding these connections is essential. Ignoring them means overlooking critical insights into how certain influences can contribute to violent behavior.
I've lived in prison for a long time now, and I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception, every one of them was deeply involved in pornography, without question, without exception, deeply influenced and consumed by an addiction to pornography. There's no question about it. The FBI's own study on serial homicide shows that the most common interest among serial killers is pornography.
Bundy's 20-year spree of terror, a path marked by brutal violence and murder, shocks and haunts us to this day. In his chilling final interview before his execution, Bundy reflected on the influences that shaped his horrifying actions. While alcohol abuse was a factor, another influence stands out starkly: hardcore pornography. Bundy described how early exposure to such material had a crystallizing effect on his violent tendencies. He went as far as to call pornography the fuel for the twisted fantasies that eventually drove him to commit horrific acts. It's easy to dismiss these claims as the desperate rationalizations of a psychopath. However, dismissing them might ignore a crucial piece of the puzzle.
I deserve certainly the most extreme punishment society has, and I think society deserves to be protected from me and from others like me, that's for sure. I think what I hope will come of our discussion is I think society deserves to be protected from itself, because as we've been talking, there are forces at loose in this country, particularly, again, this kind of violent pornography, where on the one hand, well-meaning, decent people will condemn behavior of a Ted Bundy while they're walking past a magazine rack full of the very kinds of things that send young kids down the road to be Ted Bundys. That's the irony. We're talking here not just about more. What I'm talking about is going beyond retribution, which is what people want with me. Going beyond retribution and punishment, because there is no way in the world that killing me is going to restore those beautiful children to their parents and correct and soothe the pain. But I'll tell you, there are lots of other kids playing in streets around this country today who are going to be dead tomorrow and the next day and the next day and next month, because other young people are reading the kinds of things and seeing the kinds of things that are available in the media today.
Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with the latest news. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Crime Rage Teller.